I am, I go back to these trends as far back as gold. I mean, I'm an infrastructure investor, so I think AI is going to be huge. We use it in all of our businesses, particularly around translation. I do commercials now in Chinese and French and Arabic. We use AI. We do it out of Abu Dhabi. They have a very, very advanced lab there, and we have an office there. So, if I send a message out for my watch insurance business, I'll do it in Chinese, a lot of wealthy Asian watch collectors. And my lips are moving perfectly, and we have Chinese nationals telling me that the accent's perfect. So it's advancing. But the real opportunity in AI is not just in the software. Here in the US, we have a huge problem. In order to just meet the demands of the 7 largest hyperscalers, the Teslas and the Googles and the Microsoft and the Amazons, they have demand for 30 gigawatts of data centers, 30. And we used to build them at 50 megawatts. So that's a fraction of the size. There's only 5 under construction in North America right now. 45% of the data centers in America are in Virginia, but Virginia's just passed a law that does not let you put a backup generator on a data center. A data center today needs to be 5.9, which means it has to be up 99.999% of the time. I'm giving you a lot of data you'll find interesting. That means it's only down 14 seconds a month. What does it cost to build one of these? $2 billion just for the platform, and another $2 billion for the stacks of chips. $4 billion in the ground for a 1 gigawatt data center. I built those, and we can't get the power. I don't care what state you go to. You go to the power authority there and say, I just want 100 megawatts. Can't do it. We have no power in America right now.
So is that kind of how you evaluate an opportunity right there? I mean, we started at AI, but then you took us down through the entire, basically, supply chain and what needs to go into supporting this AI revolution. Is that generally how you think about these macro opportunities that a lot of people are seeing?
Yep. I simply say, where's the problem? How do I fix it? And who will pay me to do that? That's what I do in every sector of the economy. This is a huge, huge, huge problem. And fixing this is worth billions. And so I like to do big things. This is a big thing. So when you hear me announce data center projects, it's because I solved the power problem first. And I think the way we're going to solve it is we're going to find stranded gas in places like West Virginia, North Dakota, Texas, bring our own generators in the middle of deserts or in the middle of the Arctic or wherever it's got to be, and generate electricity from clean natural gas and build data centers there. That's the only way this is going to work, because if you call up, here's the other problem. Hi, Mrs. Slabinsky, I want to build a data center next to your house, and your electrical bill is going up 40%. No, thank you. That's the problem, because when you ask for that much power, the ratepayers in that whole county, their bill goes up, and they get pissed. And they call their local governor and say, no, no, Nanette. So it's a big problem.
Kevin O'Leary is back once again to shock everyone and talk about his insane discovery regarding Nvidia and why the stock might go absolutely crazy soon. Despite the turbulence, Nvidia still holds its prestigious position as one of the globe's most valuable companies. But here's the catch. Nvidia's price/earnings to growth ratio is signaling something huge is coming on the horizon. What lies ahead for Nvidia? What did Kevin O'Leary say about it? Only one way to find out. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
All right, so President Trump says sweeping tariffs for computer chips are on the way. His pledge comes as Chinese AI app DeepSeek sends shockwaves through Wall Street and potentially triggers an AI arms race. Say that 10 times fast. Kevin O'Leary is here, chairman of O'Leary Ventures. Kevin, I couldn't wait to talk to you today because I wonder what your take is on all this. There was a little bit of a shock on Wall Street, right? There was a big reaction with the tech stocks and the NASDAQ and a big sell-off because it seems that China may have figured out how to do a lot of this stuff better and cheaper. What's your take?
First of all, there's a tremendous amount of skepticism regarding this DeepSeek product, whether NVIDIA chips were used or not, or earlier versions of NVIDIA chips. $6 million price from the desk of a hedge fund manager. I don't believe it. No one does. This is a fact I think people should really wake up to. We are in a propaganda war with China. We're in an economic war with China. We're in a technology war with China. And hopefully, I hope we don't get there, military war with China around Taiwan at some point. The country with the best AI is going to win the future of warfare in many ways, propaganda being a big thing. Now, if you put DeepSeek on your phone, it better be a burner. This is my DeepSeek phone. This is my TikTok phone. And this phone thinks I live in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So I'm taking care of myself. Everybody else should understand what they're doing here. Very risky to put this stuff on your phones.
Yeah, well, I got to call you after the show, Kevin, and figure out how you did that so that I can do it myself. You know, your sentiments about DeepSeek are shared by our Jackie DeAngelis, who used to follow tech stocks for a hedge fund. Here's what she said earlier today.
What they essentially did here was copy technology that was already existing, that we had innovated here in the United States. I want to see how they innovate on their own when AI goes to the next level. You got something new, you got something interesting, put that out and let's see what you can do. You took something existing and you did it cheaper. That's the story of tech. So I don't think it was this huge watershed moment.
In addition, we discovered by running some queries that the information is completely culled, it would seem, by the Chinese government.
It's a propaganda war. I mean, bottom line here, this is the fallout from the TikTok narrative that started a few weeks ago. I mean, we've got to really figure out what the game plan is when we bring apps to the population. We have to decide, because this app itself breaches that act of Congress. If it's scraping data, and if you actually install it, it's going to ask for your email address. In the case of Google Mail, it looks like it's scraping it. So everything you've ever emailed that's sitting on the server domestically is going back to China. That sounds like a breach of the act of Congress. So we're going to get into a bit of a war here, taking these things down if they're breaching the laws that say you can't steal data from American citizens. And the bigger issue, which is going to have to get resolved even on TikTok, is maybe it's time to give data back to users so we don't have all this litigation that's coming from our own country and from other foreign countries and from users and psychologists who care about the mental state of young people. There's a whole lot of stuff that's falling out. And on top of all that, one other derivative, unforeseen consequence, check out that bill that Senator Lindsey Graham's putting out there. He's saying that all of these Chinese companies have a secret golden share that forces them to give data back. And 285 of them are listed on NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. As far as I know, that's illegal. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on here, and it ain't good.
Kevin O'Leary expresses his unfiltered opinion and suggests that we should not hit the panic button on Nvidia yet. In fact, you might need to strap in for what's to come. Nvidia's PE ratio, although standing high at over 50, aligns with market anticipation of robust growth, especially in sectors driven by artificial intelligence. Now, this is where the PEG ratio beats the conventional wisdom drum, clocking in at a surprising 0.96. Such a number suggests Nvidia is not just a pricey stock, but a promising prospect for future expansion. But before going on with the video, are you into cryptocurrency? If so, check out our second channel, Investocracy Crypto. We bring you breaking news, expert analysis, and the latest trends in the fast-moving world of digital assets. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just curious about the future of finance, we've got something for you. Click the link in the description to subscribe to Investocracy Crypto now. Don't miss out and stay ahead of the game. Now, let's get back to the video.
Well, we know that you are in it because we know you're looking at companies like TikTok. And President Trump said this just yesterday. These were remarks in Doral about that. Listen.
I have a little bias toward TikTok right now. Pardon me if I'm a little bit, I became a little bit jaded toward TikTok, but we'll see what happens. We're going to have a lot of people bidding on it.
I don't know, maybe I've missed something, but where are you in this bidding war, Mr. O'Leary?
Frank and I are still in it, and I think we're at the cutting edge because whoever buys it, you're going to have to solve for that act of Congress and the 9-0 decision from the Supreme Court that says specifically you can't use a single line of the 5 billion lines of Chinese code. So that's why I'm saying at the end of the day, why don't we solve this problem once and for all? We'll just rewrite the thing, make sure that it abides by the laws of the United States, and we'll give the data back to the consumers. I don't want to be sued. Either does Frank. We're tired of all this litigation. You own your data. You decide if you want to share it. And if we make money advertising to you because you want to be advertised to, We'll cut you in on the deal. We'll give you a taste of the revenue, wet your beak, so to speak. And there's 6 million small businesses making a living on this. I want to save it, that's for sure. And let them invest beside us. That's part of the whole aspect of this deal that Frank and I put together. Just go to wonderfultiktok.com, register your interest. If you're an American and you want to own a piece beside us, you got it. You put up $1,500, you're right beside me.
Well, Trump is suggesting he'd like to see a bidding war for TikTok, so we'll see how it goes. And judging by what we saw with the NASDAQ when we had the bug up there, it seems like it's mostly gotten over what happened yesterday. But we'll keep watching it. Kevin, always great to catch up with you. Thanks so much.
What is the dollar amount that you're in for before you go?
We started the bidding at $20 billion cash.
Well, that would be pennies on the dollar for what it's actually worth, right?
Well, without the algorithm, what's it worth? Because we're not buying the algorithm, and nor can anybody else. So I don't know what they're talking about to price it more. The last trade for the whole company was a $230 billion valuation. 8% represents what we've got here in the United States. That means $20 billion is the price on the table right now.
All right. We'll see how it goes. Thank you. We'll see.
I have so many more questions. We'll have to have you back soon.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
Investors, however, are thrown into speculation, pondering if NVIDIA's chips are genuinely indispensable in the AI evolution after what DeepSeek did with a fraction of the money and the power. Kevin O'Leary reminds investors that NVIDIA's historical leaps in growth have cemented a bullish stance among many for a good reason. The yin to this yang, however, lies in the potential risks of a deceleration, threatening a ripple effect across its stock prices, perhaps even ushering in a sell-off. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
The other stock that we need to address here is Nvidia, because this is the worst week since November of 2018. It's been a no good, very bad week, as you know, down 17%. Leads me back to Jimmy Jitters. You trimmed Nvidia. You trimmed Nvidia now too.
I'm sorry, that was pretty good,
dude.
Yeah, I did. Look, the stock's been a home run. I mean, what has it done? A triple for me in about 15 months, and
maybe you should trim it at the, somewhere around here, not like after it falls off the ski slope and gets hit with the avalanche?
I'm going to say this again. It's up like 3 times in 15 months, and I'm going to give full credit to Josh, who's been in it forever and is up like 1,000 times in it. But I have absolutely no hesitation on this. I'm amused, and I'm amused by the pushback on it. Still own it, but I think we have to take seriously the possibility, not the certainty, the possibility that CapEx, maybe not 2025, but 2026, starts to disappoint. I'm not saying that's definitely the case. If I thought that were definitely the case, I wouldn't have a position in it at all. But I think the possibility has increased over the last week that CapEx, particularly in 2026, will be lower than expected.
27 times earnings, though. This is the cheapest you've been able to buy forward earnings. This is the cheapest you've been able to buy Nvidia, probably since I've been aware of the stock. It's
I'm not hating on it.
Not quite in Jenny Harrington territory, but it's in Jim Lebenthal territory.
I mean, the PEG ratio, I think, is probably less than 1.
Why aren't you buying more? Why is this a trim down 17% on the week and not a buy more of what still is at the forefront about where this whole movement's going?
I think everybody in the market, particularly in the leadership names, at which the top of which is Nvidia, got a shot across the bow. I think that there's a shot across the bow, and when you take a shot across the bow, the next move shouldn't be to continue on so that you take a shot in the engine room and get sunk. It's a time to pull back and think about it. I'm trying to find different ways to say the same thing, which that this is just risk management. I'm not hating on the stock. I agree with the valuation comments that Josh has made. I do think, though, that the probability that earnings disappoint has been brought forward in time from what might have been a 2027 event. So I can't say with certainty. I'm not actually hoping to be right. I still have almost a 4% position in Nvidia.
As we wrap up, should you place your bets on Nvidia's stock? The answer might just be a resounding yes. Nvidia's prowess extends beyond its chip empire. It is a testament to resilient adaptability and financial acumen, boasting impressive profit margins of over $63 billion on a revenue stream of $113 billion. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. Finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.